Hello, I'm Colonial Man, and this is episode 3 where I've been explaining the Declaration of Independence to those of you who are interested. Now I've broken this down into parts. We're looking at not the entire Declaration, but what I call my favorite portion. In the first episode, I recited the entire portion that I want to explain. So if you want to see that again, go back to episode 1. In the second episode, I talked about we hold these truths to be self-evident. And if you remember, I was talking about, in particular, that these rights are endowed by our Creator. You throw out that line, as your president did in his speech, you throw out one of the most critical parts of the entire Declaration, that we are justified in fighting for our rights because they're God-given. They're not government-given, they're God-given rights. Now, so let me recite up to the point I am right now. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now listen here. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just power from the consent of the governed. Let's break that down into part. That to secure these rights. Now remember, in the previous episode we talked about rights coming from God. There are God-given rights. Now the question becomes, how will you protect your God-given rights? That to secure these rights. If we want to protect our God-given rights, we're going to have to come up with a way to secure them. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men. We're going to have an organization. We're going to have a collaboration to protect our rights. What will we do? We will institute or make a government. What is the purpose of the government? To secure our rights. Ladies and gentlemen, we should be able to approach any member in Congress, be it a legislator or senator, and walk up to him or her and say, "Excuse me, Madam Pelosi, what is the purpose of government?" What we would hope to hear is, "Colonial Man, the purpose of government is for us to protect your rights. That's our purpose. Now, there's a lot of things we do to accomplish that end, but believe you me, Colonial Man, every day I walk into that hallowed chamber, I think, today I am going to protect the rights of the American people." Our president should be aware of that. Judges in the courtroom should be aware of that. Anybody who works for government from A to Z should know this, that their purpose in being part of the government is to protect the rights of the people. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just power from the consent of the governed. How much power do they get? A just amount of power. Where do they get it from? From where do they get it? From us. That's where their power comes from. How much power do we give them? A just amount. With our permission. From the consent of the governed. That is you. That is me. Now, that concludes today's discussion on the Declaration. I'd like to remind you about my book that I've written, United States History, Roots Through Constitution, Our Disappearing Legacy, by James William Briglin. If you are interested in getting a copy at a very reasonable postage rate, please email me at constitutiontoday@gmail.com. That's constitutiontoday@gmail.com. For a mere $10 plus $2 postage, I'll get this to you. Thank you very much.